as far as the mid lane goes, I think that the Orianna does have the advantage in extended trades due to her passive and the short cooldown on a lot of her abilities. Xerath is definitely going to want to look for shorter trades and using his longer range to poke out the Orianna.
There's Predator on Skarner. He's going to have to focus really early on those ganks to make that effective. With Predator, once he starts hitting into that mid to late game, that rune just isn't as effective as you want it to be.
Yeah, definitely. Predator is usually the rune taken on Skarner. I do see that the Hecarim is going Conquer, so I definitely like that choice over the Predator. One other thing that the Hecarim can often do is go for the Ignite, but it looks like Confused Radish is going to opt in for the Flash instead. Flash is not as useful of a summoner spell on the Hecarim, but could be used if he winds up going too deep and needs to flash out. Morgana's still in base right now. Interesting to see whether or not this is just didn't get into the game fast enough, but both looks like both sides are going to just basically draw the line of scrimmage and not really go for anything aggressive.
I'm still waiting for a team to do something cheesy in the early game and try to snowball a lead. I really want to see that.
Yeah, definitely. I think a lot of these teams are a bit nervous to go for these level 1 because if you wind up losing that level 1, that you don't want to basically throw the game on a coin flip at that level 1 point. But I haven't seen that many teams going for those early game 1v1 or level 1 champions like the Braum, Volution, things like that. Looks like everybody's having a dance party right now. Hecarim starting blue, which is what I expect. Hecarim is extremely reliant upon blue buff with his first clear. Uses a lot of mana, spamming his Q. Skarner starting red, so definitely a difference in the jungle pathing this game. So we have both junglers starting on the same side of this game, so both junglers will be pathing towards top side for potential level 3 ganks.
I really do think that teams in the lower divisions need to start thinking about how they can confuse the opponent on where that jungler starts. If the top laners or vice versa, bottom laners, depending on who's leashing, wait to get into that lane, it's so much harder to figure out where that jungler is.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Looks like the Morgana and the Kai'Sa are playing very safe right now. I definitely would like to see the Morgana play more aggressive and abusing that range advantage that she's got.
I think for the most part in that bot lane, if they're playing it correctly for the most part, once Morgana hits level 3 is where she can actually be extremely aggressive when she has binding, her spell shield, and her AoE that she can throw on the ground. It makes it so much easier for her to be oppressive.
Looks like both junglers are going for full clears so far. The Hecarim does have the advantage. He's on his 4th camp. Skarner just finished clearing his 3rd. Both of them are pathing up to the top side, but with the Scion pushed in, that means that there's not going to be that many gank opportunities for the Hecarim unless he's able to push it in time and allow the lane to reset.
Skarner did back, so he's probably going to focus his top side right now, and he's going to gank that Scion immediately. And it's going to be a kill, or he's going to have to use both summoners to stay even in that lane.
Yeah, Skarner did pick up the Predator boots. He isn't moving over to that top side. The Hecarim is there. Looks like he's expecting a potential gank. Both of them look like they're going to go for this Scuttle Crab. Hecarim is backing off. I'm not sure who's got control of that Scuttle Crab in top side. Or rather the Spire in top side. Look like the Skarner's going to claim it. I actually don't like that play from Confused Radish. His Scion did have lane priority. He could have contested that.
I partly agree with you there, but the problem in that is
Nautilus going in under
Radish
tower. Winds up taking a tower shot. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, it's perfectly fine, man. Confused Radish had not been able to back. He is going for the clear using Hecarim Sustain. So at that point, Austin Reztip had a slight advantage in health, mana, and he did have pots.
Yeah, I definitely want to see this Hecarim path towards this bot side Scuttle Crab ASAP, or he's going to wind up going 0 for 2 for Scuttle Crabs in both games. The Scion is completely out of mana. He's definitely in a bad position. The Gnar leaps forward. I think the Scion should be able to get out without having to blow his flash, but he is going to have to back and TP back in again. I think he's making a mistake trying to stay around here.
Improv up here needs to change his playstyle just a little bit. He's continuing to push up. Yes, Scion is aggressive. Yes, Scion has good early game damage. But usually to follow that up, you want that corrupting potion for the sustain and the mana regen.
Animal's been hitting a lot of bindings, but Zeralon's not able to follow up. It doesn't seem like they're on the same page. Oftentimes I'm seeing them not in the same line, which is what you want to see from those bot laners. If you look at Bronze 5 Age, they're always in the same line. The Nautilus and the Tristana, they're always in the same part of the lane, while meanwhile the Morgana and the Kai'Sa, they're typically staggered, which means that they're not able to follow up on each other's engages or protect each other as easily.
Bronze 5H is slightly building the lead here.
Another tower dive. Taking multiple shots, winds up having to flash, and that's first blood for the Kai'Sa. Yeah, that Nautilus is playing way too aggressive. There's no need to try and go for those tower dives when you're only level 3 or level 4.
That was a misplay on Psycho Pez's part there. Maybe he overestimated where he would go or underestimated, but I mean, at that point, that was a kill that did not need to go over there.
Yeah, Animal actually got a very clutch binding while the Nautilus was under tower, and he had no way to get out from tower range once he took that aggro. So actually a great play from Animal. He's been hitting a lot of those bindings, so he looks like he's very comfortable on this Morgana.
That one kill that they got there has actually evened out the gold already. So the slight CSC that is there is not as important anymore.
So one thing of very high importance is Improv had to use his TP to get back to lane. Cephas on the Gnar did not. He's walking back to lane. So now Cephas has teleport advantage. That's going to allow for Bronze 5H to potentially set up for a Drake play, and the Scion will not be able to match any teleport.
I do not agree with Improv's buy here. He went for boots and a cloth armor. If he had just gone for Cinder, he would have had a little more push power and more pressure.
So the flash out from the Xerath, Orianna winds up whiffing the ultimate. The Skarner was not level 6 yet, so he wasn't able to pull the Xerath back in to pair well with the Orianna Shockwave. But that's definitely an opportunity for a regank within the next 5 minutes once the Skarner has his ultimate and Orianna has the Shockwave back up again. Damn. Animal is just doing really well in this Morgana. I've only seen him miss like one binding so far.
I like the improvement Confused Radish has made into this game. He is keeping up in CS. He has not ganked, but he is playing in a way that'll help him stay in the game.
Yeah, I definitely like that he's actually keeping up in the CS now, but on the Hecarim, you've got to gank, you've got to get ahead. Hecarim operates, he's definitely not good when he's behind or even. He's definitely a champion that has to snowball. This bot lane is continuing to trade blows, and it looks like Event Horizon is actually doing pretty well in the trades. They wind up getting the binding onto the Nautilus, but the Morgana immediately backs off and then goes back in. It seems like there's some indecisiveness on the side of Event Horizon. Hecarim coming in, they wind up getting the kill. Hecarim's E winds up expiring before he can get the charge off. Flash for flash on the Morgana and the Tristana. Definitely a good exchange for Event Horizon.
Event Horizon here is doing really good in this early game right now. They both have scaling comps, and if this keeps up, they have a really good chance to control the mid game.
So Orianna has moved down to the bot lane, looking to try and potentially stop this Drake play. Xerath is now rotating down. Improv needs to keep Gnar in sight, so Gnar can't do this teleport play, potentially. Sion winds up whiffing his ultimate, still going in on the Gnar. Gnar does not have access to his Mega Form yet. Gnar winds up leaping over, getting out, but he's definitely took the worst end of that trade. Skarner coming in. He does have his ultimate. Winds up getting the slow. Procs the stun. Got the shockwave and the ultimate from the Skarner, and that is a kill. Definitely didn't properly layer the CC, but I definitely like the play that they tried to execute.
I agree with you there. It felt like a little bit of overkill. I don't think the Oriana ultimate was needed there. That's two important cooldowns there.
Yep. This should be a turret plate for the Oriana in mid lane. That is the first turret plate of the game. Definitely, I'm looking to see this Hecarim. He's got to make some plays. He can't just let this Skarner outscale him. Gnar steps up and gets hit with a full charge of a Scion Q.
Honestly, I think Hecarim and the Skarner, since the Skarner is running Predator and Hecarim is running that Conquer, Hecarim has a slightly better way to scale into the later game.
Gnar hop is down. Hecarim charges in with his ultimate. Gnar has to wind up flashing. That is a kill. Great play. That's exactly what I wanted to see out of the Hecarim. It winds up there's going to be a Mountain Drake going over for Bronze 5 Age. Definitely like that Bronze 5 Age is looking to trade objectives. So they see that the Hecarim is making a play top side. They immediately go for the Drake on bot side. That's exactly what you want to see on a team focusing on macro. So looking at the lanes right now, Gnar has a 20 CS advantage in top lane. That's basically pretty much negating the kill that the Scion got. In the jungle, they're almost even. Skarner with a slight advantage. Mid lane, Oriana with about a 15 CS advantage. And Tristana also has about a 15 CS advantage. So Bronze 5 Age is definitely CSing better than their opponents. But Event Horizon has been able to equalize the gold with the additional kills that they've gotten.
I feel like Event Horizon is going to have the little advantage earlier on into this game, just from the mere fact that Bronze 5 Age does have a really good team comp, but with the fact that they have that Gnar, it's a little harder to get that CC in with the timer he has.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Next major neutral objective is the Rift Herald. Definitely want to see teams start trying to set up some vision, looking for a potential gank on mid or top that will allow them to easily transition into that objective. Looks like we got a fight going on in top lane. Gnar just lost his mega form, but he's being very annoying with his mini form. Chunks Scion down about a third of his health. Hecarim coming in for the gank. Flash from the Oriana. Great job in order to avoid the knockback from the Hecarim. Meanwhile, in bot lane, Tristana is sieging this tower very strong. She's going to take turret aggro from that. Has to use a rocket jump to get out. That leaves Nautilus open to get engaged on. Heal from the Tristana. Hecarim's coming down. Kai'Sa ults forward. Kai'Sa's out of the fight, but it's going to wind up being a 2 for 0 for the Event Horizon. Hecarim picking up both those kills. That's exactly what you need.
Event Horizon is playing this early game exactly the way they need to do it.
Flash forward from the Skarner, winds up getting the ultimate down. He's most likely going to die for this, but the question is, can he get the Kai'Sa? He is. He's trying to back out. Xerath is rotating down, hits the stun. The Skarner's going to go down 1 for 1. I don't know if that was really worth it. That winds up being the flash for the Skarner and the ultimate.
I do not agree with that. I mean, yes, he did get that kill, but I mean, in retrospect, that's a 1 for 3 trade in overall for the fight down there.
I'm really impressed with how confused Radish has been playing it. He definitely struggled in the first game, but this game he's going toe-to-toe and actually really impacting the map now. 2-0-2. Good KP on his team so far. Hecarim is still down in this bot lane. I'm not exactly sure why he's here. I guess he's trying to protect from them getting first tower.
I don't agree with him being down there. I mean, if they had decided to just dive that, he would have been dead instantly.
Mm-hmm. Nautilus is going to catch that pink ward. Looks like the Tristana May will be looking for potential back timing. Or the question is, are they going to try and greed for this first tower? They've almost got it down. Hecarim's look like he's pathing towards mid lane. Xerath is about half health. Hecarim's coming in. Flash is still down from the Orianna. Winds up getting knocked back. But Xerath is not able to land a follow-up, so you see, ooh, Xerath has to blow his barrier and his flash because he goes in after the Hecarim has already disengaged. Definitely a misplay from Narnar.
I think Narnar missed an opportunity earlier to back Orianna back somewhere into that lane, and she was able to finish her first item before he could, and he's just barely gonna get it. If he had that during that fight, it probably could have been a kill, if not more poke to get her out of the lane.
Yeah, with the Xerath being forced to back and the Gnar pushing in top lane, that means that Skarner's able to come in and steal the red buff away from the Hecarim. This is also potentially setting up a lot of pressure for the Rift Herald, though Drake is spawning soon, so that could be a cross-map objective that Event Horizon could get if Bronze 5H goes for the Rift Herald. Looks like Bronze 5H has started up the Rift Herald. Nautilus is going in, winds up ulting the Kai'Sa, but she's got the black shield on her. Morgana's going in. She's going to wind up going down before the ultimate procs. Tristana jumps forward. This is going to be the first tower going down. Oh, Sion TP back in. Going in on the Nautilus. Both teams having basically a 1v1. Sion versus Nautilus and Kai'Sa versus the Tristana. Winds up being a 2-for-0 in favor. Correction, a 2-for-1 in favor of Event Horizon.
I think it's important to note here that even though Event Horizon has this kill lead, Bronze 5H still has a little over 1,000 gold lead.
Yeah, so in the meantime, Skarner was able to pick up the Rift Herald. They used it immediately top to get that top tower, and Event Horizon winds up taking the Mountain Drake, so it's one Mountain Drake apiece now, but the Rift Herald is still on the top side. The only person who can stop it is the Morgana. So now that's 2 towers to 0 in the favor of Bronze 5H, which means that they're going to be able to group up and try and siege this mid lane very shortly. Morgana getting completely zoned off this tower. This might be another tower going down in top lane. Yep, and that tower goes down right as the Rift Herald falls. That's 3 towers to 0. Great macro play from Bronze 5H after having that losing fight in bot lane.
There's several ways that Event Horizon can take this. It's good in the sense that if those 2 towers are gone, Gnar cannot safely farm anymore. He cannot be there. He will just be sitting in the lane doing nothing. But the other side of the coin is they have so much lost pressure in that top side that they're always going to know where that top laner is.
Yeah, Sion is definitely faced with a choice right now of whether he's going to just leave that lane in a frozen state and basically try to starve the Gnar out, or if he's going to try and push that lane out. If he leaves it in a frozen state, that's going to allow the Gnar to potentially rotate mid to get this tower. It looks like they don't even need him. They wind up diving the mid tower goes down, the Nautilus disengages, and that is now 4 towers to 0 in favor of Bronze 5H. Definitely a great play for them. Kai'Sa splitting bot alone right now. Looks like Bronze 5H is reacting, potentially looking to go for her, but Kai'Sa wisely backs off.
The gold lead is just shy under 3,000 gold for Bronze 5H, but it's important to keep in mind that there are 4 towers on their side to 0 on Event Horizon here. If they can just start picking up towers or slowly picking up gold, it's going to even out.
Yeah, the problem is that Bronze 5H is going to hit their 2-item power spikes faster than Event Horizon is going to. So Event Horizon has to be very picky with the fights they take. They have to make sure that they're on item parity before they decide to go in for a 5v5.
Well, there's a binding of the Gnar there. Nope, didn't do anything with it.
Yeah. They're looking like they're trying to set up for a play in bot lane. Bronze 5 is matching. The Tristana is still in base, though. This could be a good time for the Sion to basically just hard shove in top lane. He's probably not going to get any tower damage down. but he could gain back some of the CS deficit that he has. So in both games, we've seen significant advantages in both top and mid as far as CS from Bronze 5Age. Definitely impressed with their top laner and mid laner able to gain those advantages, even when they, have more deaths than their lane opponent. Signs pushed the tower pushed his top lane all the way to the tower. He does have his ultimate to try and escape, but if Bronze 5Age collapses on him, he may be overextended.
Well, they did have the vision on where the majority of the team was there in the mid lane, so he was particularly safe regardless.
Yeah, he's backing off now. He's looking to potentially flank while they go for that mid lane pressure. A lot of damage on the Tristana from that one Xerath Q. Kai'Sa's able to get a tower in bot lane. Oh, going for the flash into the E. Teleport coming in. I believe that's unnecessary.
I agree, that was completely unnecessary.
That's a waste of teleport there.
I'm guessing they just wanted to give him the kill or the assist, but I mean, that is not worth it.
Sion's going in. He hits the knockup onto the Nautilus. Nautilus is most likely going down. That's a late heal from the Tristana, so that's another summoner spell burn. Sion flashes forward. It looks like the team is not in sync with each other. Tristana uses her ultimate to knock the Sion away. Hecarim winds up getting the kill, but has to wind up flashing out. Gnar and Skarner are rotating up. Hecarim may be going down. Yep, Hecarim goes down. Gnar's continuing to chase. Wind up having to blow multiple flashes. They do land their CC, but the flashes are still blown.
I think for the most part, that was a win for Event Horizon. They saw the opportunity to go in. I think they overdid a little bit with that dive. I think we're a little bit separated on there. If they had just kept shoving that in and waited, they would have been a little healthier to counter-engage the Gnar and the Skarner.
Yeah, this is going to open up a Drake for Bronze 5Age. I definitely would like to see... I would like Event Horizon to anticipate this and say, hey, we're not going to be able to contest this Drake. Let's try and push topside and at least trade for some tower pressure instead, or get some Baron Vision down. So that's another Mountain Drake going over, so it's now 2 Mountain Drakes to 1 in favor of Bronze 5Age. This is definitely something you don't want to see. You don't want to see teams just watching objectives die. Anytime a team has got priority on the objective, try to cross-map an objective and see if you can get some gold back.
I completely agree with you there. I do think that while that dragging was going on, they should have tried to 3-man push down that mid while Sion pushed top. But I do not agree with Zero Lamp's positioning there. He left himself extremely open for the all-in from a Nautilus.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Tristana farming up the jungle. She's almost on her 2-item power spike. Kai'Sa's going for the Storm Razor build as opposed to the Muramana build. I definitely prefer the Muramana build on Kai'Sa right now. It definitely is, but the Storm Razor build can also work.
I'm going to take a guess that's more about a comfort thing since the Muramuna build is slightly newer.
Skarner popped the Predator. He's looking for an engage, but he winds up getting slowed by the Xerath. So that's Predator down for the Skarner. Hecarim splitting top. He may be able to get that tower. I'm not sure if the Gnar can respond in time.
I actually like that they did send Confused Radish up into that top lane. He probably at this point has a similar push rate to the Sion, but he is much safer in how he has multiple ways to get out.
I agree with that. Definitely want to have the Sion grouping with the team, being that meat shield to peel for the carries. Hecarim has got, he's got amazing movement speed and his ultimate that he can use as a disengage if needed. Ooh, Xerath caught out of position. He's definitely going to go down. Let's see if they can get a trade back kill back. Looks like they're not. Grouped up as 5, Bronze 5Age moving forward. Hecarim is still at least 5 seconds away. This could be mid tower going down. Sion's looking for the engage. Immediately disengages. Morgana lands the Q. Hecarim ulting in, winds up getting the kill. Nautilus winds up having to flash from the Morgana, winds up going down anyway. Massive shockwave from the Orianna. Tristana's bounded. Kai'Sa's still up. Focus Fire is not there, though, and the Kai'Sa winds up going down. The Tristana could clean up these kills with some rocket jumps. So Kai'Sa definitely moved forward a little bit too aggressively when her Scion and her Morgana were way too low. Winds up getting 1v2'd against the Orianna and the Tristana. But Xerath is already back up again. Death timer is still pretty low. Let's see if he can clear this wave before the tower goes down. Tristana winds up taking a tower shot because of the exploding charge on the tower.
Bronze 5H here might be getting a little too confident in their team comp. They all in. I mean, Gnar took way too much damage early on. He literally died to the tower alone and got CC locked under it.
I agree, they're getting a bit... Go ahead, sorry.
Event Horizon was perfect in how they reinitiated into that fight, seeing that opportunity. But just as you said, Zero Land was just pushed up way too far and gave him an extra kill.
Yep. Yeah, I definitely agree with you. They definitely were playing a little bit too aggressive. The re-engage was great from the Scion. Unfortunately, Bronze 5H has got their 2-item power spike, and Event Horizon is not on 2 items on all of their carries yet. Scion able to clear the vision and able to get the Skarner Spire down. Does not drop a ward though, so Baron is still unwarded for Event Horizon. Looks like both teams are posturing for this Drake setup. I don't know if Event Horizon can fight this. It's going to have to be a very perfect team fight for them, especially since Bronze 5H has the scuttle control. Ooh, that's a lot of damage from the Orianna.
We have to keep in mind here that Event Horizon still has all their flashes up. They have most of their sums up, while on the side of Bronze 5H, most flashes are down, including sums.
Yeah, so mid-inner tower winds up going down because Bronze 5H was able to push out that mid lane while they were setting up for the Drake. So that's another tower down. 5 towers to 1 now in favor of Bronze 5H. Scion and Morgana wind up backing right before the Drake spawns. This potentially could cause the Drake to go over to Bronze 5H. Mega Gnar gets popped too early. They may not have it for the team fight. Looks like they're going to try and force it before the Mega Gnar falls off, and they're able to secure the Drake. So yeah, I definitely think there was a mistake there with the Scion and the Morgana backing right before the Drake spawned.
I agree with you there, but maybe they saw that the Gnar might have had his Mega Gnar up, and in that situation, Mega Gnar wants to fight you in the jungle. He wants to fight you near walls.
Yep,
oh,
now
they're
Bronze
rushing
5 is going for Baron. This is definitely something that I've seen a lot of teams do, is that if you decide to make that choice not to go up, team fight, Hecarim gets caught out, winds up going down. Xerath doing a lot of damage with his ultimate. He may be able to turn this fight. Kai'Sa ulting in, but they're not focusing the Tristana. Tristana finally goes down, but the Kai'Sa goes down as well. Xerath is still full health. They might be able to get this pick up on the Orianna. Orianna goes down. That winds up being a great fight for Event Horizon. Nobody was able to get onto that Xerath, and he did a ton of damage.
That was perfectly done by Event Horizon. Yes, Zero Land once again a little bit too aggressive, but he did put the damage down that was needed. Bronze 5H again, it's just a little too confident in their team comp, and the Gnar ultimate just wasn't there.
Yeah, so Event Horizon now has some new life. They're less than 1,000 gold down. They're getting the scuttle control around the Baron. Oh, they wind up not finishing it off. Coming back for it. There we go. So
Good
yeah,
job,
I definitely
guys.
want to see them go for that that scuttle control, get that Baron vision down. Top tower is still available for them. That's the last outer tower that they can go for, and it's on very little health. So I'd like to see Event Horizon group around this top tower. I do not like the Kai'Sa going bot lane. That means that Bronze 5H could start this Baron, and she will not be able to transition in time. They should be having the Scion in bot lane since he has the teleport.
Also, on the side of Event Horizon, Gnar and Animal have not backed. They still have half their HP and half their mana at this point.
Yeah, there's definitely an opening right now for Bronze 5H to go for Baron. I'm not sure if they've realized it, though. The Kai'Sa was bot lane for quite a while. They didn't pull the trigger, but they did move up to secure vision control in Event Horizon's red side jungle.
I
Now they
think they're
feel
playing a
confident to
little
go
too
back
safe.
to the Baron, but it doesn't look like they're going to start it because Event Horizon does have the scuttle control.
I'm starting to think that that fight around that Baron pit is stuck on Bronze 5's mind here. They know that if they are too eager, and they know if they go in too early, they will lose those fights.
Yep. I'm surprised that the Xerath has not reached his second item yet. He's been sitting on those 2 needlessly large rods for quite a while now. He's got about 2,000 gold in the bank. He's almost at that item power spike, and that's going to be huge for the next fight. Sorry about that.
No, perfectly fine, man. But I would like to bring up something here.
Mm-hmm.
There is no magic resist on the side of Bronze 5 Age. That Xerath can just do near true damage if he gets any magic penetration.
Yep, so the Xerath winds up picking up the Rabadon's death cap. He's going to have a ton of AP damage. He does already have the Sorcerer's Shoes for the magic pen. I definitely like that pickup from the Xerath, especially since there's not that much magic resist, as you mentioned, on the side of Bronze 5 Age. However, this is another mistake. Xerath going bot lane instead of the Scion. The Scion's got the teleport. He can be that person who can be in that side lane and then TP into the fight if needed. Scion winds up getting engaged on, misses the Q, the Kai'Sa gets ulted by the Nautilus, the Hecarim gets pulled, he's going to wind up going down. Kai'Sa's almost dead. This is definitely a misplay from Event Horizon. Morgana goes in and winds up dying almost immediately. I definitely think that Event Horizon made the mistake. They need to have that Scion in the bot lane. They have to keep that Xerath there. He's one of their primary damage sources.
I partly agree with you on that in that regard, but I do think that Scion and the way they had that push was okay. It was okay if the Scion could have gotten that pick and forced it into a 4v4.
Yeah, the problem is that you're going to always be in a disadvantage if you've got somebody with a teleport pushing that bot lane as opposed to somebody who doesn't have a teleport pushing that bot lane. You're always going to be in that 5v4 potential disadvantage. And now, Bronze 5 Age has got the Baron, and they could potentially have priority on the Infernal Drake that's just spawned. So at this point in the game, I think that Event Horizon's just got to stay in their base. They just need to focus on wave clearing, not let Bronze 5 Age get more than 1 inhibitor with this Baron. That's really what I'm looking for. If they give up 1 inhibitor, that's fine. If they give up 2 or more, that's going to be their problem.
The sieging power from Bronze 5 Age is completely reliant on the Orianna Tristana trying to poke and using the range to get that tower down. If they misstep just a little bit, the chance for Scion and Hecarim to get into that back lane is real, and it could be deadly for them.
Yeah, I definitely want to see that ball positioning from Orianna to try and zone people off of the tower. She can put the ball right on the tower, kind of hide it from view. Tower winds up going down. Sion's engaging in. Gnar does not have Mega. Hecarim ults in. Kai'Sa ults in. Gnar goes down. Xerath winds up ulting. Hecarim is way far away from his team. He's going to wind up going down. Went a little bit too far. Kai'Sa's coming in. She's focusing the Orianna. Massive shockwave from the Orianna. This is going to wind up being a massive wipe from Bronze 5 Age. Yeah, that Orianna shockwave completely changed the fight. That was a massive shockwave coming out from Shadow.
I think Event Horizon had the right idea. They had it in sight. They could have won that fight, but the second that Confused Radish used his ultimate onto that Gnar, it gave up so much pressure onto the backline of Bronze 5 that they could just do whatever they wanted.
Yep, I partially agree with you. I think that the initial engage was good. The problem is that they overchased. They should have just been happy with the picks that they got because they used a lot of those ultimates to get those picks. That overchase allowed Bronze 5 Age to turn the fight. If they had just settled for those couple picks, that would have stopped the Baron push and they wouldn't have been able to get the inhib. So bot inhib is down. Baron is almost done. Looks like it actually is done. So one inhib down, that's not horrible, but the lost team fight has definitely caused the gold lead to extend. It's now 7,000 gold in favor of Bronze 5 Age. Ooh, Hecarim taking the red buff instead of the Kai'Sa might have been a misplay there. And now we have Bronze 5 Age actually pushing the top lane. Oh, they still do have the Baron buff on the Tristana. Morgana and Sion are both in bot lane. I don't agree with this play right now. They're going to wind up losing a lot of pressure in top lane. The Xerath needs to start rotating up there immediately in order to be able to wave clear.
I understand what Event Horizon is doing there. They needed to shove that lane out as much as possible because there is a super minion in there. That is going to push naturally and it's going to push fast. So them doing that gives them a little breathing room, but they need to try to make something happen while that wave is still there.
Nars almost got his rage bar charged up. He jumps forward. Meanwhile, in top lane, there's a strong push going in top side. Tristana drops the explosive charge, winds up taking turret aggro, still is going to try and burst down the tower, is not able to get it. Two autos and the tower goes down. Gnar is back into mini form. Sion with the flank, a little bit ahead of his team. Hecarim ults in, winds up getting hit with the Nautilus ultimate. But that's multiple carries going down, but in the meantime, Skarner gets a great flank, winds up sniping out the Xerath. It's all on Skarner now if he can wind up carrying the fight for his team. Triple kill for the Skarner. Quadra kill for the Skarner. This could be a potential penta. And that is the pentakill for the Skarner. Massive carry from Alston in that fight. He had a great flank onto the Xerath, wind up getting that kill, taking out that key carry in Narnar. And that's going to wind up being the mid inhibitor tower going down.
Again, Event Horizon had the right idea. They had the fight. It's just Zero Law needs to relax. He needs to stop chasing into the enemy team as they're running. He needs to turn back and he needs to focus on where the majority of his team is at.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think that Event Horizon is just getting a little bit too aggressive. They're chasing a little bit too far. That's opening them up to being able to get counter-engaged or flanked. And that winds up putting their carries in a very precarious position because they can't follow their tanks as quickly. And they wind up getting put into bad spots. Looks like Bronze 5 Age is setting up for the Drake. This should be an Elder that's coming up 37 minutes into the game. Elder Drake has spawned. This would be a massive Elder Drake for Bronze 5 Age. They've got 2 Mountain Drakes and an Infernal. Elder Drake goes down. Event Horizon is not going to be able to team fight Bronze Age with this super buff. And Baron is about to spawn as well. This could be double super buffs for Bronze 5 Age to close out the game. Instead, it looks like Bronze 5 Age is going to try to push in, maybe try and finish this game without the Baron buff. They definitely can win the 5v5 team fight if they can get a good engage. Gnar is in mega form right now. He's looking for an engage. Hecarim goes in. I think that was a bad play. Gnar winds up getting the stun against the inhibitor. Morgana goes down. Hecarim goes down. The Event Horizon is getting routed in this team fight. Xerath goes down. Only the Kai'Sa remains, and that winds up being the game. GG. Bronze 5 Age wins 2-0.
Event Horizon did way better in game 2. I will give them props. They fixed a lot of the issues, but in fixing those issues, they created a little more with the over-aggression.
We'll go into the post-game lobby. Orianna, massive shockwaves, definitely played extremely well. Skarner with the pentakill, definitely have to commend Bronze 5 Age. And also, like you said, Event Horizon, after that first game that was really hard to come back from, they came back really strong and made the second game much more competitive. Definitely a fantastic game too, one of the best I've seen. So definitely kudos to both teams. It's definitely clear that they've been practicing a lot. So thank you guys for tuning into this stream. That's all we've got. Tune in tomorrow. We've got multiple games going on tomorrow and on Friday. You got any last words?
Nope, just have fun, guys, and remember, you could always learn something.
All right. Have a good night, guys. We're signing out.